Welcome back to EMGM Sports. It's me, Enzo, the realest in the game. I'm here with the legend, the voice of boxing, Adam Smith. Sir, how you doing?
Enzo, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm doing all right. Thank you so much for having me, man, for taking this interview. I appreciate it.
Thank you for asking me. It's a pleasure, and it's just a great fight week, and I love talking boxing. And
that's it.
It's a fabulous time in the heavyweight division, and we've got a cracking night. Live on the Zone Saturday night at the O2, packed out, atmosphere, summer sizzler, so many events ahead through the autumn, and this is sort of kick-starts a new season for me.
That's it, man. Look, I know we're going to jump into the main event, Itauma versus Filip Hrgovic. I just want to ask you a personal question. You've been in the game so long. What's your secret, man? I'm new in the game. I'm just establishing myself. What's been successful for you to stay in the game for so long?
I think there's no secret. I've loved sport since I was a young boy. I used to practice commentary on a dictaphone before my voice had broken on every sport. I then got hooked on boxing. And I've sort of been in it a long time. And I think once it gets you, it gets in here. I love fighters. I followed many great careers from start to finish now. You know, I'm working with their sons and one or two almost grandsons. So, I think there's no secret. I think I love what I do, and I think it's that I work hard and I'm passionate. I never think I'm that good. I never think I'm the best at anything. Nah,
you're that good.
I don't.
Nah. I think you're that good. I think you're that good.
That's your opinion. There's many commentators out there who I think are exceptional. I just do what I can do to try and enhance a product. I work very well with at Sky with Matt and with Paulie and with Carl and Johnny Nelson, everyone, and now I'm doing the same thing with Darren and Barry Jones and Carl Frampton, Tony Bellew, some phenomenal voices in the games. We've got Fabio Wardley and my old friend Prince Nassim Hamid joining us on Saturday night. So I think it's good as well to have been. I've been there through Naz's career. I was there when Barry Jones won his world title, when Darren Barker started professional. So I think having seen all them come through and working with them, it adds an experience maybe to it. I look at it from maybe a different point of view. Somebody asked me the other day what I think of Moses Itauma compared to the heavyweights that I've seen over the years. And I don't think I've been this excited about a heavyweight since Mike Tyson. And I'm counting, Lennox Lewis is the greatest heavyweight we've ever had. I worked with him, in my eyes, in Britain, 100%. I've worked I worked with him in 15 training camps. Lennox was unbelievable. But excitement-wise, AJ, of course, great to get him going, whatever. But there's a mystique about Itauma. And there's something about the way he's finishing fights at this stage, which is, he's not as intimidating as Mike was. But he's finishing fights in dramatic fashion that maybe they shouldn't be finished as easily as that. If he does that to Hrgovic Saturday night, let the comparisons continue, because I think we're on the verge of making a superstar here. But he's got to get past Hrgovic, which he should. Hrgovic is looking in terrific shape. He's physically immensely prepared. Abel Sanchez is one of the best in the business. I've been to Summit. I've been around them with Golovkin and all that. I know what he does up there. Filip will have left no stone unturned. Is he good enough? Is he too old? Can he deal with the southpaw speed, the skills, the elusiveness, the counter-punching, the way he manages a ring generalship? Itauma looks the real deal to me. Time will tell.
Okay, you know what? You've jumped into it anyway. Let's talk about this main event. You've made some great points there, how good Moses Itauma is. Do you think you get the feeling that around this fight, Filip Hrgovic is being underestimated? Do you think on Saturday night we could get a surprise in there? Because don't forget, Hrgovic has never been stopped. He's got a great chin. He's very durable. Itauma hasn't been past the 6th round. If this fight goes past the first 5, deep into the mid-rounds, 5 to 8, do you then start getting a little bit worried for Moses Itauma come Saturday night?
You think I know my stuff? You know your stuff, Enzo. You are asking all the right questions.
I'm trying.
And the brilliance about this is when we do these sort of interviews 48 hours before, when the fight happens, we go, oh yeah, I thought that would have happened, or why did we say that? Oh, we were only hyping it up. Look, we don't know. No one knows what happens until the bell rings, which is the fascination of boxing, particularly with the heavyweights. Okay, I found one person in New York who thought Andy Ruiz was going to beat Anthony Joshua, and he wasn't even sure. He just gave him a really good chance, and that was Joe Parker. No one else. outside of Andy's team, no one else.
No one else, yeah.
Right? So we never know in boxing, right? Filip Hrgovic is a very experienced former amateur, experienced pro. You're right, never been stopped.
Cuts against Dubois, cuts, but not outright stop.
Cuts could be a problem for him in this fight.
Early on, he's got a lot of scar tissue.
Could be a problem for him.
He's got a lot of scar tissue. That could get opened up.
Lack of speed on the foot could be a problem
but
for him.
But have you noticed he's coming a bit leaner? He's looking a little bit lighter on the feet.
Because he's with Abel Sanchez, he's in Summit, he's been at altitude, and he's trained his hardest. There's no question it will be the best version of Filip Hrgovic going in on Saturday night. The real thing for me is he good enough to work out Moses Itauma's Southpaw Speed 1 secrets? And is Itauma, if he does have to answer the questions of going past 6 rounds for the first time, does he have the gas? Does he have the conditioning? Does he have the know-how, the experience? 31 rounds boxed professionally. He's done it in sparring. He's done it in training with Ben. Of course, it's different under the lights, and it's different when you've got a guy like Filip Hrgovic, who's a world-class heavyweight. But if Moses wins easily, people say, "Oh, Filip Hrgovic, he's a real underdog," whatever. But we're all saying it. Filip Hrgovic has been underestimated. He's a very, very good heavyweight fighter who is at that level. So if Itauma does him emphatically, we've got to give Itauma the credit. And if Hrgovic wins, we've got to say, well, there we go. Itauma took the opportunity, took the test into deep waters, and he'll come back and learn from it.
Yeah, there's also one element here that I think a lot of people are not taking into consideration. Yes, we know Itauma is skilled, very talented. We know the limitations of Filip Hrgovic. Moses Itauma, if he does win the IBF title on Saturday, he'll become the youngest heavyweight champion since Mike Tyson. He'll become the youngest ever British heavyweight champion. That is a lot of pressure. I hear in the media, not just me and you, but a lot of people are touting him to be the next undisputed king. They're already talking about a potential clash with Daniel Dubois in the next 18 months if Dubois gets past Fabio Wardley. All of that noise is that getting the pressure to Moses Itauma. And don't forget, this is the biggest stage he's ever gonna be. He's only had 31 rounds. Hrgovic has had over 100. Could the pressure get to Moses Itauma on the night?
You're a historian.
With all the noise.
You're a historian. You know your stats.
I do try.
Just give me, I'm going to give you one more here.
Go on.
You mentioned 31 rounds.
Yeah.
Okay? If Moses does what he said up there and wins in 2 rounds, he does it in the quickest rounds.
Yes. Yes.
Because Anthony Joshua did it in 34
Yeah.
when he beat Charles Martin. So not only would he be the second youngest in history after Mike Tyson and before the likes of Floyd Patterson and Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. I mean, greats. So if he does it, surely the history is there for him to go on, right?
Do you think the pressure could get to him on the night? This is a lot of pressure. We've seen Joshua carrying the heavyweight boxing for the last decade, and he's talked about the pressure getting too much, and that's impacted him in the ring. Moses, 21 years old. Yes, he's very mature. Comes across, speaks very well, very mature in and outside the ring. But this is a completely different pressure. When the fight was first announced, it was just a step up, right? And then the vacant IBF title came into play. Different pressure.
Okay.
Will he crumble under pressure, or do you believe that Moses Itauma is good enough, he's got the cojones to come on top Saturday night?
Okay. I may be wrong.
Yeah.
But I think Moses Itauma is a cool cat who has got incredible family around him, who's got a brilliant team, who is humble, who is dedicated, who is very, very mature for a 21-year-old, who likes to do things his way. And I don't think any of this, when it comes to it, will matter. I think he'll want to go in and do the job. That may be a comparison to Tyson, actually. Not the intimidation factor of sort of beating you before the first bell that Tyson had when he ripped back the white robe, and just had the black trunks and off he went, no music in, right? That was the intimidation factor. I remember Alex Stewart, a heavyweight, telling me he turned into almost an animal in front of him in the ring with the head-to-head before they went to battle. But that was Tyson's. But one thing that Moses does have, he has that incredible self-belief that he just thinks he's going to go in there, do what he does, and dispatch his man. So I don't think that side of it will come into it. Now, in a long, hard, grueling affair, whether it's Saturday night or whether it's later on in his career, he will have questions to answer.
Of course.
That's for Ben Davison and him to work out in the corners. He might be knocked down, he might be dizzy, all that sort of stuff. I think the only way that Itauma loses on Saturday night is that he gets knocked cold or he just gets undone by very, very heavy punches quickly. Because I don't think he's lacking in any of those areas you're talking about.
Yeah, that's true. And just before we go, do you think the coaches can play an important part in this fight? We've got Ben Davison, young coach, good coach.
Of course.
Yeah, but we've seen him make a few mistakes in the past with Fabio Wardley, Anthony Joshua, the lack of adjustments in between the rounds. Let me finish. I understand. I'll let you go. Abel Sanchez, Golovkin, experience. He's been there, done that. He's got the know-how. When it does come to crunch time, when Itauma is in trouble, can Ben Davison and whoever's in his corner, have they got that experience to change the momentum of the fight?
I said to you, Ben Davison, yes, there's one or two errors maybe. Everyone makes mistakes.
Okay.
And it's not just that. Ben Davison, 95% of his stuff is world class. I've known him for a long time. I love chatting boxing with him. He studies stuff well. Lee doesn't get enough credit. Barry doesn't. It's a wonderful camp they've got there. And they know exactly what they're doing. They're a very, very professional outfit. They believe Fabio Wardley should have stayed in the battle, and that was their decision at the time, right? They'll get a rematch, and we'll see what happens in the rematch, okay? But all their attention is on this fight. Of course, trainers matter. They matter up to the second the bell rings. When they go down to their stools, they're still mentally coaching them, right, even if they can't be in there. And after, if it goes more than a round, they're going to have time in the corners. So both camps are incredibly important in there.
But again, my question, when it comes to crunch time, who do you trust to make the best decision, to make the adjustments at the right time? Ben Davison or Abel Sanchez?
I think both can make the decisions at the right time. I think Abel is a legendary coach who I've known a long time. Maybe has experience in a different way. Ben Davison's had huge experience with the likes of Tyson Fury and AJ and Lee Wood and many others. He's got a huge stable. And I think they'll both make great adjustments when they need to. But fundamentally, it'll come down to who's the better fighter.
Okay, last one before I let you go. Tell me, are you ready for a prediction? How does Moses Itauma win it on Saturday, and how does Hrgovic win it?
Moses Itauma wins it by doing what he does best, which is utilising his advantage as a southpaw, his advantage in speed, his advantage in footwork, his advantage in youth, freshness, and maybe ring IQ as well. And the power that he's got. If he's got a man hurt, he's ruthless. Those are the ways that Itauma wins. How does Hrgovic win? He rolls the dice and goes for it early. He's one of the best three-round heavyweights in the business. 11 knockouts inside 3 rounds, so he might roll the dice. It might be what Keith Connolly says, Hagler Hearns, 9 minutes of madness, the bigger punches, see what happens. Or he might play, which I think is a more tactical game, and try and take Moses deep, utilise his jab and hope his conditioning sees him out. But he's got to be very careful that Itauma doesn't outbox him and start winning too many rounds in the process. I think Itauma's a heavy favourite, but both of them can win this fight.
You've got Itauma winning Saturday night.
I'm calling the fight, so I can't possibly make a prediction.
Fair
I have
enough.
to pick the mic up and be neutral. But Itauma is a worthy favourite, and I'll be very surprised if it's not anything other than an emphatic victory for him.
That's it, my people. You heard it all. The voice of boxing, Adam Smith, with your boy Enzo, the realest in the game, on EMGM Sports. Tune in Saturday on
DAZN, the global home of boxing.
You heard it all. Thank you so much.
Cheers, mate.
Appreciate that. Cheers. Bye.